So something I thought about doing recently, noticing that some of the traffic to my channel is that of people watching my Micronation videos. I thought I would go over exactly the question, as is the title of the video: what is micronationalism?
Well, to start with, let's start out with the definition of a micronation according to the World Atlas. So according to the World Atlas, an entity that claims to be a sovereign nation but is not recognized by any other government or major international organization. That is the definition of a micronation. Now, with micronations, it's one of those things where it depends on the people that creates them. Micronations are the subject and the end result of the creator's mind. And they can be created just as easily. For example, certain micronations may be started out as a art project. Some of them may be just passion projects. Someone wants to say that they have their own nations. And some of them try to make them pretty legitimate. For example, using various legal loopholes like the Antarctic Treaty. There are many micronations that claim to hold territory in the Antarctic based on the fact that there is a large amount of unclaimed land. Along those same lines, the Republic of Liberland was founded based on the idea that there is unclaimed land between Croatia and Slovakia. Also, land between Egypt and South Sudan has been claimed as the Kingdom of North Sudan and has also been claimed by various other micronations as well. They might also be created for various reasons due to protests. For example, my micronation, the Royal Republic of Ladonia, was created in protest to authorities trying to take down what was essentially a big pile of state, and has evolved into possibly one of the largest micronations in terms of population size in the world, with over 20,000 citizens. Others, like the Contra Republic, have also been founded for similar reasons, there being immigration checkpoint in between the Florida Everglades and the mainland. Those I mentioned before, such as the Republic of Molossia and the Republic of West 2, were created as passion projects by their creators and have lasted an extremely long time, all things considered. Others are rather interesting, like the Republic of Sealand having been created both on a legal loophole that it was outside British claimed sea territory and that it was on an old World War II combat platform. Now, all of this may sound a little quirky, and while most international organizations in no way, shape, or form acknowledge or recognize such entities, they've all actually created quite a bit of a community between each other. For example, every 2 years is an organization called Microcon, in which everyone gets together for essentially what is a summit of micronational leaders. Now, while the third iteration is about to happen later this year, there were also various other precursors to that. There's also various other micronational organizations that have evolved. There was a form of the League of Nations. There was a form of the United Micronations. There is currently the Grand Unified Micronational. And while these earned the nickname of YAMO, or yet another micronational organization, which is kind of derogatory because these don't last very long, they have had some interesting history, to say the least. Also of note is various sporting organizations. For example, the Principality of Sealand has actually fielded a soccer team that has played in various what would be considered obscure soccer competitions, such as the Viva World Cup, which is a spoof of the FIFA World Cup, and had pseudo-nations teams competing. Of note, micronations do tend to have a short lifespan because people lose interest and then the micronation dissolves, etc., etc., etc. However, as mentioned before, micronations like Molossia and West 2 of which is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and Molossia, of which has been going for a long time, can have a long lifespan. Also of note is that these micronations do in fact have be informal consulates or embassies, but certainly do have them in various nations in which they are represented by their citizens. Also, they have stuff like currency, souvenirs. Molossia has, interestingly enough, launched its own laundry And some of them have various orders. For example, West Arctica has the Order of the Snowflake, of which I am a member. It's very much an interesting niche, and I hope I was able to educate everyone a little bit on this.
And so that's it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. At Matthew Salzer is both my Twitter and my Instagram. And let me know what all you want to do, whether you want me to talk about very specific micronations, whether you like my Soto Guru videos, stuff like that. And thank you very much. I'll see you next time.